What's going on, guys? DJ Hess here, and I'm bringing you guys a gold gun gameplay with this PM-9, and this is a piece of junk. But my setup isn't helping either. I'm using it with a hammer scope and extended mags. So, who uses a hammer scope on SMGs? I don't think I've seen one video with it, and there's a good reason because it's a kind of an odd combination. But I had fun using it. It's kind of like an ACOG and a red dot combined, unlike the hybrid, which is like the holographic. So. On an assault rifle. But I'm not going to talk too much about the gameplay, as cliche as that sounds. A lot of commentators always say those exact words in that same exact combination. But if you guys are interested in hearing my review of this PM-9, check my channel, or I'll link it in the description, because I have my gun review on a different video. But this time I wanted to talk to you guys about Wings of Redemption. And the reason why is because there was it was a couple weeks ago, but he actually put a tweet out and wanted to talk to some people about his channel and ideas for his channel. I think he was at a real low point. It was about 5 in the morning his time. He was up all night, and so it was about 2 o'clock my time. And so basically I got to talk to him on the phone, and it was quite an interesting thing. I don't know, I always say this, but can you hear my dog Chloe snoring in the background? There, I'll let you try to listen real quick, but man, she's a loud ass chick. Chloe, stop snoring. But anyway, so Wings of Redemption, let's get into this. So Wings of Redemption basically had a kind of a low point in the night, like I mentioned. He was asking somebody to tweet him and criticism or constructive criticism about his channel, and I said, you know, I would chat with you about it. I left you a tweet a couple days ago, a long list of things that I thought would be helpful for your channel, but I didn't hear anything back. And then he tweeted me back. He said, "What's your Skype?" And I was like, "Holy shit!" So he Skyped me, or added me on Skype, and then I was going to chat with him. But the thing is, I've never used Skype before, so I created an account and I hardly use it. I only chatted once with Gazzareno on it, but and it was only on chat as in like IM, not on a phone call. So here I am, my Skype noobness, and he ends up calling me, and I'm like, fuck! I answer the phone and he can't hear me. So I'm thinking, Jesus, he's gonna rage quit on me and fucking yell at me and block me from now on because I couldn't get through, and I was wasting his time, you know, like I'm the small fish and he's a big fish. So, but he was actually really cool about it. He was like, you know what, like try plugging in a mic if you got to plug in a mic or something. And then I was typing it, and I was like, you know, I'll call you back in a second. I gotta get this figured out. So I did the configurations in between. He called me back, and then I actually ended up chatting with him again. So we chatted for about a half an hour, but you know, it was crazy. It was crazy to hear Wing's voice talking one-on-one with me. I was like, whoa, this is nuts. It was kind of an honor, you know, like, and you know, I try not to fanboy out too much. I mean, I respect Wings. I like Wings. I don't always agree with everything that he does. He has a strong personality, you know, and he doesn't muzzle that, which is something I can respect. But for the most part, you know, he's just not somebody that everybody loves. But anyway, so he, you know, he was feeling pretty down and wanted to know, like, maybe some suggestions of what he can do. He's like, you know, my channel's dying here, and I think the thing is that it was the first time in a while. In the beginning of November, he was gaining 100, 200, 300 subs a day. By the end of the month, he was down, like, he was losing a handful of subs a day. And I don't know if a part of YouTube, I'm guessing part of YouTube changing the homepage did a little bit of damage for his channel, and I don't know why. It seems to be selective. But his channel doesn't come up in the suggestions. I saw 5 XJAWS videos in my suggested list. I have no idea why. I'm subscribed to XJAWS. I don't know why 5 different videos would show up. So I think YouTube's kind of ripping him off a little bit for his size of a channel. He's not getting the free exposure that happens internally. But besides that, I was trying to give him other things that he could use for like ideas for growing his channel or maintaining his channel from where it's at. And one of those suggestions that I had was basically tagging his videos better. In the video tags, you can tag a video and have it be more specific to your gameplay. If you put certain words in parentheses together, it groups them, and so when somebody does a YouTube search, and you know, more in their favor. His tags are very generic, so it's not helping him one bit of having people help find his videos. But the main reason why I mentioned the tags is because I truly believe that he needs to make content for a wider audience, and not just his subscribers. A lot of times bigger YouTubers are stuck in this mentality of providing content daily that gets, but they're not thinking about providing content for people that have not seen their videos before. Many people daily, hundreds of people daily, subscribe to his channel. Half of them probably don't even know who Wings of Redemption is. You know, I remember Wings when he was back in Modern Warfare 2, and he got the Riot Shield nuke on High Rise. I remember that video. That's what made me subscribe to him. So a lot of people might not know his history. So getting some history lessons in here and there is always important. Like, I think sometimes people, I don't want to say they're big-headed, but they got to realize not everybody knows them. Even if they have 350,000, a million subscribers, people, not every single person is going to know you. So you got to have that mentality when creating videos. Another thing that I think that I was surprised of is, like, I've never thought about things hitting 3-4 million views every month and then slowing down, and how do you get back to the point where you're hitting 3 and 4 million views again. So catching me off guard a little bit, I didn't have any, and I still don't really have any suggestions on how to get his channel back other than focus on new subscribers. Don't focus on current. The other thing that I mentioned to him that I thought was very critical is the type of gameplays. He's not too good for tips and tricks. He could probably give people great tips and tricks for videos. He just doesn't think that people want to see that shit. And maybe his current subscribers don't. But there's a market out there and an opportunity for you to grow your channel based upon, love those dual FMGs. Video searches and viral videos, when people are looking for tips on how to do something on a map or whatever it might be, or his opinion, or the, you know, whatever little things that are out there that he could give tips and tricks on. T-Mart does a lot of those type of things, and his channel has grown immensely. Woody still does a lot of those things, and he recognizes that. When the Drop Zone game type came out, Woody did a review the next day. Wings should do his version of that review. I don't know why he doesn't do that. It would draw a lot of views, I think, not just from his current subscribers, from just random searches on the internet. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that, along with his tags. As I've mentioned in the past, his tags need to be on point in order for that to happen and work cohesively. But the other thing is that I think myself and other commentators and subscribers don't really realize, or maybe you do and you just don't give a shit, but when you're somebody like Wings of Redemption, who's showed himself, everybody knows what he looks like, he does live streams, yes, he's a larger guy. Does he need to hear it in the fucking comments non-stop that he's fat and he's a piece of shit? Like, stuff like that's not called for. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how he deals with those type of trolls. But what he ends up doing is just not replying back to comments. So he doesn't even read the comments on videos for the most part. And do you blame him? I mean, really, do you blame a guy for not reading comments when 90% of the comments that come in are just super rude and a bunch of trolling people? I don't blame him, personally. And this is one of those gameplays. Man, I was so close to getting a Reaper so many times, and then I ended up dying like right before my next kill streak. So it was just one of those games, you know, you have them, and this was definitely mine. Anyway, one other thing that I wanted to mention is sometimes less is more. He puts out content. I think he puts out maybe 10 or plus videos a week. You know, I put a lot of videos out as well, so this is words of advice I need to consider for myself. But he puts out so many videos a week, and his reasoning, unlike mine, his reasoning is to compensate the views. If he's only getting 30,000 views per video consistently, he'll rely on those 30,000 views and put out 2 videos to get 60,000 to try to equal or equal more views on some of his videos, since they're not getting the view count that he wants per video. And I think that's a bad idea. Like, focusing on views is a horrible idea. But one thing that we also got to realize is Wings is doing this for his full-time job. This isn't a side business. This isn't a side venture. This is how he makes his income and home payments, car payments, or whatever else he needs to pay for every month. So the stress and the pressure is something that I cannot feel as I have a full-time job, and as other people can't feel if you do this as a hobby, because it is a realistic pressure. If he doesn't get enough of views for whatever it is, be it 3 million views or whatever it might be a month, he won't be able to afford, you know, living in his house or whatever it might be. So keeping that in mind, there has to be a point where enough is enough. And if you're not making the income anymore off of YouTube, then you need to focus and get a real job. And I hate to say it, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful manner, but you do need to focus and get a real job. And then you can have a very, very successful side business of doing YouTube on the side. But there's no point if you're not making ends meet on YouTube to keep going. And one of the fatal things that I think Wings has done is, and I mentioned this to him, and I don't think he was super happy to hear it, but maybe he considered what I was saying. But I told him, you know, like sometimes Twitter is not the best spot to be like talking about, oh, like, you know, I wish I needed more subscribers, or why aren't people watching my videos and stuff, because the majority of the people that watch his videos are A, subscribers, or I mean his tweets are A, subscribers, or B, other commentators that are way smaller channels than him. So hearing him like kind of cry about not having enough views when he gets 30, 60,000 views per video, and people like myself can't even get 10,000, it makes it a little more difficult. But hopefully he found the constructive criticism that I gave him helpful. Hopefully he's going to use it going forward. I'd like to see his channel maintained. Wings is a stand-up guy. People love him and people hate him, but you know, regardless, at the end of the day, I respect him. Anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts about this subject in the comments below. Please be kind. And looks like we will be catching you guys later for the next Gold Gun series. Thanks.